Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. As Nigeria is set to celebrate 25 years of uninterrupted democratic rule after a series of military interventions that truncated the First, Second and the Third Republics, leaders in the African continent are reflecting on the state of democracy in Africa and the seeming failure of governance on the continent, providing the basis for military takeovers. Addressing the forum in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, President Bola Tinubu, whose administration is equally clocking 1 year in office and has been subjected to public scrutiny, called on those in leadership positions through electoral processes to see their responsibilities as an opportunity to shine the light of good, responsive and productive governance that will make democracy appealing and attractive to those parts of the continent still under military dictatorship. President Tinubu, who is also the chairman of ECOWAS, admonished African leaders not to espouse the cause of democracy to sound politically correct or just for the fancy of it, but do so because of their belief that the ultimate purpose of democracy must be to provide good, honest, and responsible governance that will promote the greatest good for the greatest number. It is against this backdrop we'll be engaging with Musa Abubakar, a public affairs analyst with international experience. He's also a businessman and an auctioneer. Thank you very much, Musa, for coming to our studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
It's always a pleasure being here.
Good. But before the conversations, here are some tidbits. The Nigerian government is going to hold a low-key official ceremony to mark the 1 year in office of President Bola Tinubu, according to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris. Idris stated this on Wednesday at the ministerial press briefing series held at the Radio House in Abuja. It is not clear if the government intends to hold the ceremony on 12 June, the day officially recognized as Democracy Day. Election data showed Moshood Abiola won the polls, but he was never formally declared winner and was not sworn into office by the military government of President Babangida. Tinubu, major supporters of Mr. Abiola, is believed to have played a major role in the change of the Democracy Day to June 12, which was carried out by former President Buhari. Speaking on the plan for the 1 year in office, Idris said the celebration is going to focus on sectoral debates instead of the usual celebrations. And elsewhere, the amendment of the Kano State Emirates Council, Amendment Number 2, Law 2024, sponsored by the majority leader and member representing Dala constituency, Lawal Hussein Dear Yangurasa, scaled first reading. Journalists who came to cover the day's proceedings were asked to identify themselves before they were allowed entry, while roads leading to the assembly complex were barricaded. The Kano State Emirates Council Law 2019, which created 5 new emirates, was first assented to by the ex-governor Abdullahi Omar Ganduje on December 5, 2019. And also, officials of the Department of State Service, the Dragon Squad, and personnel of the Nigerian Police Force have taken over the complex of the Cross River State House of Assembly. This was following the impeachment of the Assembly Speaker, Elbert Ayambem. Reports indicate that Ayambem was impeached over alleged gross misconduct and financial misappropriation. The move to remove the Speaker has been on for some months as members have been expressing displeasure with his conduct and operations of the Assembly. As of Tuesday, over 20 members had signed up for his impeachment, and the motion for his removal was moved on the floor of the House by a member representing Calabar South 1, Effiong Ekarika, and seconded by Charles Omange. Now, take a look.
Mr. Speaker, I am very aggrieved. That is the more reason that I, on the relation of America, representing Calabar South, constituency 1, based on that, I want to invoke section 92, sub 2C, for the removal of the Speaker of the Federal State. That's it. I still move. Mr. Oman, I represent the people of the Kurra. I hereby second the motion approved.
It is now time to take a short break, and when we return, the conversation commences. Please stay tuned. We now have our reporter in Kano, who is actually the Bureau Chief, Northwest, Dati Ahmed, to give us a rundown of what really transpired at the Kano State House of Assembly. Dati, welcome to the program. Yes, we're happy to have you. And can you give us a rundown of what actually transpired at the Kano State House of Assembly in respect to amending the laws governing the Emirate Councils?
Before today, somebody told us that the Assembly was given 5 days ultimatum. I think somewhere last month, the Assembly was given 5 days ultimatum to amend the Kano Emirate Council law, but unfortunately that didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't happen last month. So yesterday, when the House adopted a motion by the majority leader to recall the law and with a view to amending it, it was not surprising, really. And so today, consistent with the adoption of yesterday, the House sat, and then the Kano Emirates Amendment Bill passed reading, and the Speaker adjourned plenary to tomorrow, Thursday, for a special session, actually to discuss the bill. The House don't usually sit on Thursdays. They sit Mondays, Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays. But probably because of the importance the House attached to this bill, they adjourned to Thursday, and it will be deliberated upon tomorrow.
Okay, and we witnessed a beef of obscurity infrastructure around the State Assembly. What does that portend?
Yeah, today there were heavy presence of security men, largely policemen and men of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. They were manning strategic location leading to the Assembly Complex. The Assembly Complex is situated inside Kano Odubago Secretariat. So all roads leading to the Assembly were manned by armed security personnel. People are not allowed in unless they have business in the Assembly. In fact, newsmen were not just allowed like that. They have to identify themselves, and if you don't have the Assembly's identity card, also will not be allowed until probably if you call somebody from the Assembly. Like in my own case, I had to call the chief press secretary to the Speaker, Kamaluddin Ibrahim Sani Shawai, to come over to actually get me admitted into the complex.
And what is the ambience in the, during the plenary? Because you have members of NNPP, which is the ruling party, but you also have APC members. Are they on the same page during the deliberation, or there are some back and back conversations?
At today's sitting, actually there was no drama. It was just like a normal sitting. In fact, yesterday the motion was brought under matters of urgent public importance. So you can see it was not even on the order paper. Unlike today, it was on the order paper, and then there was no actually opposition. The minority leader Labaran Abdul Madari was actually not in the assembly when the matter was tabled, even though he granted an interview saying that they are not opposed to the amendment if the Emir of Kano Aminu Ado Bayero is not going to be removed also. But the ambience was not really different from what is usually was the set up during sittings. Maybe tomorrow may be a different thing, but I also don't see so much drama happening because the NNPP members, they have the majority, they are 26 at the moment, and then the APC are only 12 members.
All right. And then finally, before we let you go, what about Kano City and environs?
Yeah, people are going about their normal businesses. Of course, the story spread like wildfire, but more or less, people are just busy doing their things. Really, there's nothing really to show. Unless probably if you go to the assembly complex, you don't see unusual happenings because of the security presence. But inside the ancient city, even around Emir's palace, people are. The Emir is actually not in town. It's somewhere in the
Southwest.
Also. Yes.
Right.
So people are just doing their thing, really.
All right. Thank you very much, Datti Ahmed, for what you told us. And we hope you continue to monitor the situation as it unfolds.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Datti Ahmed, our bureau chief in Kano. He takes charge of the northwest region of Nigeria. Yes, Malam Musa, you have had our correspondent.
Sure.
Yes, and tomorrow they are going to meet all about, changing the rules. I mean, the laws guarding the Emirate Council. Don't you think it's too early to change it? Ganduje changed it in 2019 and created additional emirates. Now the governor wants to change it to trim the number of emirates. What is the meaning of this? Maybe from your perspective.
Thank you very much. I'm only going to comment on this issue because you permit me to do that.
Okay. Ordinarily, you wouldn't want to. Are you from Kano?
I'm not from Kano.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But maybe you are a prince? Because prince and princess, they don't really want to discuss issues around, controversy. That
I'm a royalty actually, but not from Kano. So, and I wouldn't want to dabble into something that I have no knowledge about. But I believe all this back and front is not giving the Kano Emirate Council or Kano State in its entirety a good name. Keep on changing laws simply because you want to favor some people. You don't take into consideration the consequences of all these changes and so on. It may foment some trouble. Kano, for what it is, you don't take chances with Kano. If you have to take risk, they say don't take chances. And in Kano, for a very minor thing, they will set the town in flames and they don't care. So as an outsider, I think they have to be cautious about what they are doing. Because for their own personal interest, they shouldn't put the whole state or Kano City into trouble. I don't think it makes any sense. in my own view.
Yes.
But that is their own problem. They know better than me.
Exactly.
You know, but for what is happening in the country right now, I don't think another round of crisis would be good for anybody, anywhere in this country.
Okay, now let's move to Cross River State. You've seen punches there, you know, they throwing chairs, how they messed up the mess. Were you surprised when you saw it? The State Assembly.
You know, most of these things you are seeing happening like in Cross River State House of Assembly, it's not new. And it doesn't only happen in this country. It happens in so many places in the world when it comes to politics and things like that. This is not the first time we are seeing something like this. So to me, it's not a surprise anyway.
But what about the manhandling of the mess? You know, mess is a symbol of authority.
Of course.
But look at how they're actually desecrating it.
It's actually a disgrace.
And someone scaling the barrier there, maybe he wanted to punch.
It's not honorable actually. They are honorable members. They are supposed to be honorable members, but what they displayed here is not honorable at all. Can you imagine? And the world is looking at all this. So what are we trying to portray ourselves in the world? That we are irresponsible or what?
And they wanted to remove the speaker, or they have removed the speaker.
Does it have to resort to this? If you have to remove the speaker, is it not the same people that elect him?
Yeah.
So if they want to remove him, does it have to resort to this? Then something is wrong somewhere.
Even though we are all not privy to what is happening there, but do you see some external influence in what is happening in Cross River?
No, if I try to say there is some external forces that played a role here, it's like I'm privy to what is happening there, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So they are the ones that will explain to the nation what actually happened between them, and they disgrace the nation because it's a big disgrace.
But have you seen the contrast between what happened in Cross River and what happened in Kano? You know, I asked Datti that where there are dissenting voices in the State House of Assembly, considering that you have 26, you know, NNPP members and you have 12 APC members. He said no much objection, and then even when they said they should reconvert tomorrow, there was no any dissenting voice. But here, of course, they also have members of both APC and and including other smaller parties. But they fought. I'm not trying to judge, but I want to hear from you.
No, actually, you know, you have to look at the dynamics.
Oh yes.
What are the dynamics? You understand? You are talking about two different people here.
Yes.
So you have to put into consideration the dynamics. Are they the same? I don't think they are.
Are you talking about the culture and political distance? But if it is about political awareness, not to be disingenuous, people will expect to see some punches in Kano.
No. In any way, there is no way you can equate 26 and 12.
The gap is wide.
It's too wide. It's more than double.
But if we are the only person, and I don't believe in what is going to happen.
It can be a dissenting voice, but will it make any impact? 26 against 12.
But beyond the numbers, yes. Of course, I was expecting that you will, bust the bubble. They said even the legislators there were compromised in court. I don't want to believe that, but we had a story that almost all of them were given SUV worth 65 million.
So what is behind that? To remove the Kano?
I don't know.
The emir of Kano or what?
I don't really know. You are an analyst. Maybe you will tell us.
This is what I'm trying to understand, because if there is an allegation that something changed hands.
Meaning there is inducement. Even though it's not really exclusive to Kano. We have been reporting whichever state actually buy vehicles. And beyond buy, because it has been happening for time immemorial. But people are looking at the prevailing economic situation. And then leaders, you know, they are now just taking care of themselves.
I'm so sorry to say that even though this is a democracy, but if I'm not wrong, this current dispensation is about, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 25 years old.
Yes, it is, exactly. By May 29, the next couple of days.
And instead of things getting better, they are getting worse every day. Yesterday is always better than today. And we don't learn our lessons at all.
Of course, I will discuss that more when we go deep into the main topic of the day. But finally on this, how can state legislatures, you know, have their own independence? Because from all indication now, look at Cross River, look at Kano, look at what happened in Rivers. 3 members or thereabout, you know, sworn in commissioners that had been replaced by the governor and all that.
You see, the problem we are facing in this country is that I don't know. Can I say naturally, a Nigerian is docile.
Okay, we are docile.
We are docile.
I mean the electorate or the
both of us, all of us are docile.
Across the board.
Across the board.
And docility in what way?
Yeah, of course, because let me give you an example.
Okay.
I may go outside now, and a policeman will stop me, right? And he will just tell me that he's inviting me to the station. And I don't have the right to ask him, am I under arrest? If I'm under arrest, on what charges? I'll just follow him to the station.
Why do you think people are behaving that way?
Well, I can say there are some factors. Factors like lack of education, abject poverty. You don't even know you are right. Like, we're in a democracy. Just like what is happening in Kano and Cross Rivers.
Yes.
So many other states, ones that are open and ones that you don't even know.
Yes.
You understand? It is we, the people, that put them there. I wanted to come in with my voter's card. Because anywhere I'm going, I go with my voter's card.
To prove that you actually a stakeholder
that is my
in the
right.
dispensation.
I'm not only a stakeholder, that is my right.
But don't you think, not to veer off what you are talking about, if police invite me to the station,
yes,
I follow them, not because I'm not educated, not because I don't know my right, not because I am poor, but because I don't want to be killed.
No.
Because there are many instances, once you have altercation with them or you argue.
There are situations where the police doesn't even carry arms.
But you still follow them.
But you still follow him. And you don't have the knowledge, or you don't even know your right to ask him, on what charges are you taking me to police station? This is just one aspect of it. If you go back to what we call democracy now, myself and you, for me, I know I've been voting from 1999 to date. And there are occasions where I was supposed to travel. on a business trip. But because it coincides with the election, I'll give up the business trip and I'll wait until I cast my vote.
Because you believe in that. Anyway, thank you. Now we'll go into the main topic of the day, which is a review of state of democracy in Africa. But we have to start with Nigeria. Yes. And I want to repeat the question I asked earlier. What can we do to make state legislature vibrant, independent, and strong?
This is a very interesting question.
Yes.
Until and unless a voter like me,
yes,
know that my vote is very important, I can put you in that place and I can remove you from that place. When the voters know the importance of their votes, that is when they will start calling to order these people that will send through assemblies, whether state or national assembly. Most of them that go there and does not know what even took them there. And unfortunately, I am the one that voted you into that place. And before I send you there, I know who you are. I know your background. But once you get in there, you are now the boss. I am now the servant. Instead of you to be answerable to me, I'm now answerable to you. Why? Because I will go to your house in the morning before you wake up. You'll be sleeping and we will gather in front of your house waiting for you to wake up.
Are you now referring to the legislators going to the governor's house?
I'm referring to the legislature. The governor's issue is a different ball game entirely.
Which we have to touch also.
It's a different ball game entirely because people can gain access to the houses of maybe state assembly members or national assembly members. But for you to get into the governor's house, you know, there are certain security apparatus that you cannot just access the governor's house just
like that, yeah.
But like the members of national and state assemblies, you can easily go to the member's house in the morning. The best they can do is the security in the house to tell you are not going in.
Why are they weak? Why are they weak? Because they have the power. They have been elected by the people. Yeah. But when you look at it, more than 70% of actions and inactions of state legislators, you know, are influenced by the chief executive, that is the governor.
Those ones, if you are talking about the state assembly, those ones are rubber stamps.
Why are they rubber stamps?
Because if you look at most of them, if you look at their background, right?
They are inefficient?
No, it's not deserving to go. Okay. It's not the inefficiency that we are talking about right now. What we are talking about is they go into that house with a mission.
Okay.
With a mission to make money. Not to work for the people. It's either you believe me or you don't. But that is actually what is happening. Majority of them are there simply because they think when you get in there, you get free meal.
From governor?
Of course.
Is that why every bill?
They are supposed to be. This is why I'm saying we are docile. Right? The three arms of government are supposed to be independent.
Yes.
Executive, legislature, and judiciary.
Yes.
Each one's supposed to be independent. And each one, in fact, the ones that are supposed to be lower at the rims of things, supposed to be the executive.
You think you mean the judiciary and the legislature should be stronger?
Are more powerful. They are supposed to be more powerful because the legislature can can summon the governor. The governor cannot summon them.
But the reverse is the case now.
But the reverse is the case. The judiciary are supposed to be the most powerful, but unfortunately, they too, the story is not too good.
Were you appalled during the last dispensation, that's the 9th assembly, you know, at the national level, they voted for full autonomy for the legislature, but they could not get the, you know, quorum when they sent the bill to the state legislature. Many of them voted against their independence. I don't really know. I'm still at a loss.
This is what I'm telling you. Now, if I ask you, what do you think happened in Cross River State Assembly? What is the genesis of all that happened there?
Influence of the governor?
No.
Okay, what is it?
The disgrace that happened in Cross River State Assembly that the world has watched. Why do you think such a thing should happen?
I don't know. Is it because they were influenced?
Of course.
By the governor?
It might be by the governor. The governor called the shots in the state. So if you have any issue with the governor as a speaker, if care is not taken, you'll be on your way out of that seat.
Then finally on this, who will save the cat? I mean, who will give the legislature independence?
No. It is when we started, when we realized the voters. By the time we, the voters, realize our rights. Now, when we send you there, we know the mission we send you to there. And if you don't perform according to our own expectation, next election, we put you aside. We take somebody in there.
All right.
That is the only way you put some sense into these people. But, you know, the problem is this abject poverty of a thing.
People can sacrifice.
No. You know, it's not everybody that that can resist the 500 to 1,000 naira that these people will come and dish out during the election and they buy their votes.
Yeah.
It's not somebody maybe like me and you that can, nobody can look at you or me and will try to say he's going to give me money to vote for him.
Yeah.
It's not possible. But we are in the minority.
Unfortunately, I hope we get to the majority. Now today, Musa, here in Abuja, leaders in the African continent met and they were reflecting on the state of democracy on the continent, looking at the seeming failure of governance in providing the desired leadership, which is paving way for military coup. This is not the first time they are meeting. Are they learning any lesson from some of these gatherings?
Like the one that took place in Abuja?
Yes, you have, presidents, heads of states, and all that.
I'm so sorry, if you are seeking for my own opinion,
which is actually our main topic of discussion, democracy in Africa.
I think it's just a picnic that took place there.
Picnic?
Of course.
That's a strong word.
Yeah, of course.
Why picnic? You think they will not have any takeaway?
Have a dinner. How many of such meetings have we had before? What changes? Come on, we have to be serious. What changes?
Well, Tinubu in his speech said the leaders should avoid the landmines, that serve as appetizer for the military to take over. You laugh.
Okay, fine. He should profile solutions.
And he's the ECOWAS chairman.
Yeah, of course. I have high respect for Mr. President.
Okay.
I am not ashamed to say it anytime, anywhere that I voted for him.
You voted for Tinubu.
Exactly. And that's between me and my God.
Have you regretted so far?
No.
Okay, fine. Okay, continue. We'll come to
I have not. If I say I regret, I'm not being fair to myself and my conviction.
Why?
I'm not regretting, and I'm not lamenting, because I don't think 1 year, in fairness, I don't think 1 year is enough to evaluate or to judge an administration.
How many years should we give them?
He has 4 years.
So we should start assessing him during the third year?
Let's say sometimes a good situation started with a bad situation.
Okay.
Sometimes the beginning will be good, but the end will not be good. Might be bad. Sometimes the beginning might be bad, and the end might be very good. So we should always put our faith in God, and we try to pray for our leaders to succeed.
When your stomach is empty?
Yeah, of course. What did I'm a Muslim, and my religion.
How many requests from Nigerians have you received today for support? People asking you for 2,000 with all sense of responsibility. How many? Can you count?
I can't. But does it start from this government?
What we are saying, is it not worse under this government?
We have said it. Was it not worse before Buhari?
So talking about all of this, now Tinubu said leaders should not give room for people to even contemplate going for military interventions because of failure of democratic, system. Is the future bright for Nigeria as we are now?
This is exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying basically is that I'm not a fan of military rule. I'm not a fan of military rule at all. Anywhere. Not to talk of my country. Anywhere. I detest military rules. Anywhere.
But what do you think will stop military intervention? We have it in Niger, we have it in Burkina Faso, we have it in Guinea. In fact, many countries in Africa.
You are talking about Niger, Burkina Faso.
Why did it happen there?
Didn't it happen here before?
Are we better off now that we have democracy?
As far as I'm concerned, we are still experimenting. And it's not a one-day thing, it's not a 25 years. If you read history, if you're a student of history, if you read history about so many of these big democracies, right? If you know the beginning, before they get it right, it wasn't a 25 years journey. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Unless if you are not and in any case, we Nigerians, it might not sound good to a lot of people, but I'm saying the truth.
Okay, go ahead.
Because unless you travel out of this country, you wouldn't know how blessed this country is.
How blessed is Nigeria when now families cannot eat twice? Yes, and you see people, in fact, of all students with their pride. Look at what happened at the Nasarawa State University.
What happened?
A cup of rice, raw rice. One of the students even lost her life. I don't think during your days in the university or during my days. And we are not in a state of war in Nigeria. So, please, I want you to actually speak from the bottom of your heart. Because if by May 29, we will mark 25 years of democracy, uninterrupted. We have about 4 leaders. Of course, Yaradua could not complete his. Is this where Nigerians should be?
Okay. We're not supposed to be where we are.
Who is responsible?
We.
You mean the electorate?
Yeah, you.
I don't understand. I am a journalist, and I know that I didn't actually fail in my responsibility.
But you voted.
I did.
And it's your right. It's your responsibility.
I did. So what is it? It's time for actually reciprocation from the leaders we elected. And the aggregation is that they are not living up to expectation.
It all depends on how everybody looks at things. All depends on how we look at things. We might have a different perspective to how we look at situations. As I said to you, sometimes the beginning might be bad, but the end might be good. Sometimes the beginning might be good and the end might be bad. You know it. I don't have to tell you. But what I'm saying basically is that 1 year is not enough for us to pass a verdict on the government.
But is it now time to pass kudos to the government?
No. Even if we can't pass kudos on the government, what is the way forward? What is supposed to be the solution to the problem?
There was briefing today by the Minister of Information and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation was there. The Minister of Budget was there. Quite a number of presidential aides were there at the Radio House. And the minister said this year's celebration is going to be low-key. What does that mean? Is it that because they don't have anything to showcase? Is it an indictment on them?
You just said something.
Okay.
That families don't feed well.
Yes.
Some families hardly feed once a day.
Yes. Sadly.
Some
they are sick, they can't go to hospital.
Yeah.
They don't even have the transport.
So is it proper in your own thinking? Is it proper that the government should go out on the 29th and start dishing out money and showing off when the people that are supposed to be taken care of are not being complaining?
Even though in fairness to them, they said they will start reeling out their achievements from tomorrow. But they have prepared the grounds for us because we have sharpened our knives, not actually to stab them, but to ask them questions as to what they failed to do, despite the fact that they promised us, at the beginning of the, I mean, even during electioneering, that they will do A, B, C, D. They have spoken about, affordable housing. They have spoken about affordable transportation. They have spoken about students' loan. They have spoken about peace and harmony. Which one have we seen 1 year after, Musa? Of course, you are not a government official, but I feel as somebody, a public commentator, and you're also a businessman. Look at Dangote just yesterday, and we're not restricting this conversation to Nigeria alone. We are talking about Africa. Just yesterday, Dangote said he requires 4 visas to travel across Africa. What is wrong with our political leaders? We are rounding up the program, and I want you to actually catch up with this.
No, I don't understand this question you're asking me.
What I'm just saying is, of course, you said they don't have any reason to celebrate, considering that there are challenges. Fair enough. But they said they will reel out their achievements tomorrow. But as far as this program is concerned, we said Nigerians are asking that what have you done so far? And I escalate this to Africa. Which country is actually smiling now?
Actually, if that is the case, then we have no reason to ask our government what is their achievement.
So it means democracy is not working for us. And I'm not calling for a dictatorship. Which option? Yesterday we hosted a member of the House of Representatives here, Honorable Dasuki. He called for parliamentary system. Are you also for it?
We have to look at it from all angles.
Okay.
When they practiced the parliamentary system, myself and you, even if we were born that time,
I wasn't there, yeah.
I was born.
Okay, 1960.
Yeah, no, I was not born 1960 because I was born 1963 actually.
I was born 1972. So
by that time, I cannot give account of anything that happens at that time. So I was not old enough to know what happened at that time. But what I'm saying basically is that there was a constitutional conference in the past. There was this, there was that, there was this, there was that. And up till this moment that we are talking right now, up till this moment, we have not found the solution to our problems. When are we going to find that solution?
The question is for you.
And yeah, the question is for me and you. And what?
So should we change, if I am to answer or to ask another question, should we now look for maybe homegrown kind of democracy?
The problem we
across Africa.
The problem we have is we don't have confidence in ourselves.
So we should now have confidence.
We don't have confidence in ourselves. We don't have confidence in whatever we do. We don't patronize whatever we do.
Okay.
We are always looking outside. Whatever is outside is better for us than what we produce in our own.
So finally, because we have less than 1 minute now, what is your advice to Tinubu and the governors, members of House of Assembly, National Assembly, as we enter the second phase of this administration?
Okay, you see, we are always getting it wrong.
Okay, this should be in less than 1 minute.
We are always getting it wrong.
Okay.
What is left for us now, as for me, is prayers. Let's go back to God.
Okay. You mean prayer is the option?
Is the
last option.
Is the last
All right, Musa, Kurra, Abubakar, thank you very much for your informed perspective. And we hope to have you here again after the celebrations, low-key or high-key, so that we can come and
whatever we are expecting to see the achievements that will be real out for us tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, after that we will now make our comments.
All right, viewers, yes, this brings us to the end of the program. We've been conversing with Musa Kurra Abubakar. He's a public affairs analyst with international experience, and he's also a businessman and an auctioneer. And we discussed a review, of state of democracy in Africa. And that's a wrap on today's package. We sincerely hope you found the conversation engaging and informative. And be sure to join Daily Politics Live, airing every weekday, and our special package on Friday, during which we open the telephone line for you to comment on national issues. Bye-bye for now. I'm Hamza Idris.